Welcome back, folks, to my first AFL update in a few days now. This one was something really big. This news is really big, and overall, when I found this out, I was laughing so hard that I was like, "No, this shouldn't be even happening." But either way, let's either way, let's go ahead and hop into this one. Bring it in. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the first AFL video in a while. If you guys don't know, I had pretty much been banned from the AFL server, and I'm still banned from the ACFL server. Or basically, I'm not sure about the ACFL server for I don't know how long, but I'm gonna tell you for the AFL server, I'm back in it. And there were some big moves that went ahead and happened. So overall, this is basically some crazy news. So either way, pretty much alright, this is overall. I shouldn't have gone ahead and just jumped to conclusion right there. Okay, well, either what's going on, guys? We're back with another video, and this is some big news as the pretty much that there was a little bit of a rebranding, and the Rams ended up going ahead and turned themselves into the Jets. Now, this is basically big news, maybe due to the reason that and in fact, it has been confirmed that pretty much, Def ATL left AFL. And this is basically big news, as not Def ATL. I'm sorry, Def, if you're watching this. It's actually the Lord Pred. If you guys thought, you guys thought Def ATL ruined it. I effed up. I know I effed up. Like I said, it comes out of big news. Well, the Jets. Either way, the rebranding will go ahead and help out the Jets a lot. As you can see, this Jets team is basically 6-3. Is basically 6-3 when Pride was playing. So now that there was that late rebrand, Reese did approve of it. So now, basically, the top 3 quarterbacks in AFL right now are in the AFC. And now, basically, that little late rebrand actually goes ahead and helps the team out. Because basically now we all wonder whether Def was going to make the playoffs or not. We can't confirm Def went from playoff questionable to playoff hopeful. And basically a quick snap. So, overall, Brad and his Rams buddies come on to the Jets team they're 6-3, and they basically have first place in division as pretty much the Bills and the Dolphins are pretty much right behind them. Well, the Bills basically, they have Huddy 3B at their quarterback, and Huddy's, like I said, Huddy he's having won pretty much the best receiving games of the season. And BCQT, despite the fact that he's basically kind of having a little bit, having a little bit of a down year, he's basically playing, still playing on that MVP level that he was playing a year ago as the former MVP is trying to go ahead and hopefully going to go ahead and end off on a good note. Well, either way, the Dolphins and the Bills are both 4-5 on the year. Overall, they're not doing horrible. It's just, but the Week 10 schedule does turn out to be tough though, as in Week 10. I mean, the Dolphins go ahead and they play the Saints, and the Saints, surprised despite the fact that there were some questions about whether that Saints team was going to do good. At 6-3, they've held up to basically some good standards, and no one was really. That was one team that has been going off. So basically, a Dolphins win basically goes ahead and puts them on top. Now, the Jets did going ahead and playing the Titans. As far as I know, they went ahead and already played, and during a little rebounding thing, and the Jets ended up losing 52-28. So that makes that makes Titans rookie Zuretro, aka Mike Aviation, 2-0 against Def ATL. That's kind of pretty surprising. So, and the Week 10 win was confirmed for the Bills. So the Bills are actually now 5-5. Now they just need to go ahead. Now the Dolphins need to go ahead and win. All they have to do is beat the Saints, but the schedule ain't gonna be easy. Because when I go ahead and looked at it, it's basically no joke. They have pretty much gone ahead and it's basically well, it's a hard one to really talk about. You look at their schedule, because Miami is doing pretty good, but now their last 3 games, they have to take off you have to take on the Saints. Win that game, they get 5-5. But now you have to go ahead and box it out. So overall, these last 3 games will be proved challenging. Being the Saints pushed them to 5-5. Now you got pretty much the Jets, who are 6-4, and the Bills, who are 5-5. I can confirm it will be a shootout between Def and Math. I mean not Def and Math. Def and BCT. And the last time both of these guys met was Steelers versus Dolphins, and that turned out to become one of the highest scoring games in AFL history. The game was basically so back and forth. Like, the game wasn't even a joke. Like, overall, the Dolphins were basically that one team were basically one win away from, like, this. The Steelers 1 win away from becoming the first team in AFL history to go 10-0 in the regular season, to go undefeated in the regular season. BSQT, having a great year, had to play spoiled for it. The game was basically a back and forth thing, as both quarterbacks combined to throw for over 1,000 yards and 15 touchdowns. Beast had probably one of his best passing games, and Def was just dotting it over. But overall, the game pretty much came down to pretty much went into overtime, and the game was tied at 60. And then, well, this play happened. The play was pretty much controversial, and Def ATL went ahead and challenged the play. Well, and from the instant replay look at it, you have to question whether the feet were in bounds. Yeah.
The game stats, if that's what you're talking about, right? Is it all-time stats? I don't know.
The game turned out to be a 66-60 Steelers win. Steelers will go ahead. They wouldn't meet in the. People were anticipating for that to be the playoff matchup, but things happen. But then not so things good happen for the Dolphins. They ended up losing to the Pred-led Jets, 50-28. So the Jets went on to go ahead and face the Steelers, and the Steelers manhandled them 50-28. And that set up the Steelers taking on an underrated Chargers team in the AFC Championship game. And we already know what happened. Chargers win the game. They make the Super Bowl. They win that. Yada, yada, yada. We already know. So, basically, Beast QT is hungry for revenge from that loss. And Def ATL wants to go ahead and prove that he's pretty much one of the best to ever do it. As for Huddy, he basically wants to go ahead and hopefully be out the division. Luckily, it's basically a battle between those two teams. Pred will need Pred's next challenge. I mean, not Pred, excuse me. I'm so used to Pred's Jets. It's Def ATL. Well, Def will need to go ahead and play the Dolphins, which will be a tough matchup. That might be a win or loss situation there. So they may drop to pretty much 6-5, but I can guarantee a Patriots win will pretty much close off Week 12. Miami, though, has a hard schedule as they go ahead and they have the Saints, Jets, and Bills. So we don't know how that's going to look like. That it's going to be all or nothing. As for the Bills, they went ahead. They went ahead and at 5-5 they had to play the Browns and the Dolphins. The Dolphins won. Will be basically the hopefully, if possible, might be able to tie the what will happen if the Bills will want to go ahead and tie it for for the division lead with the Jets. They will have to go ahead, hope for Miami loss, but or if they want to take the division, you have to lose. You have to hope that the Jets go ahead and lose to both Miami and New England. Miami goes ahead and goes on a 1-2 stretch or a 2-1 stretch. Like overall, beating the Dolphins will be necessary. The Bills next game before they face the Dolphins will be taking on the Browns. And for Jack, let me tell you this though. All the Browns are trying their best. They are not the brightest. Not the brightest season. As Browns quarterback for Jack is basically having a mediocre season. Anyways, with that rebrand, of course, the Rams had to go ahead and get some replacements. So they went ahead and signed a Mix. Well, they went ahead and let Nick Shuda be the interim to be the head coach to hopefully to go ahead and hopefully win it out. So now he's enters a situation. The Rams' last 3 games to take on the Cardinals, the Seahawks, and the Giants. I can tell you that the Giants' win won't be guaranteed. They will have to put up a fight for it. And facing the Seahawks, they will have to go ahead and force containment on Cole. But facing Arizona, well, let's face it. I mean, when you look at the stuff Arizona has been doing, yeah, Arizona's 1-8 on the year, so they're least likely to go ahead and get that done. But either way, that's all I can basically go ahead and say about it. Like I said, basically not deaf. I mean, Pride went ahead and left AFL, so nothing really big there. So yeah. Either way, hopefully something good will end up happening. But until then, Mike Aviation will have to go ahead and play hard. I mean, they call me Jared in real life, so they call me Jared for short. Yeah. Okay, I'm bailed. Well, either way, those are really big news in the stats sheet. Basically, Def still leading the league in passing yards, and he is going ahead. But however, Def basically had probably one of his worst games last week against pretty much his unquestioned. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of thing against the Titans. He has to get them back to back, and the Titans were ready for them. As he has another plus 10 interception year. But despite the fact he has set a career high in completions and in pass attempts. So, you gotta look forward to that. Meanwhile, well, yeah. So, we're not gonna be going ahead and making too much of this. So well, yeah. Either way, but there wasn't really some two big news. Panthers went ahead and beat the Giants 34-28 in a surprising win. And in ACFL, nothing big's gonna really happen. As as ba- as if you just went ahead and looked at it, number 2 Nebraska takes on Stanford. Winner goes ahead and plays Maryland in the Big Ten championship, as they're gonna go and play in the Tostitos Bowl. And the Cheez-It Bowl, it will be the 8th ranked Tennessee versus 9th ranked LSU. The winner plays the Sacred Donner led ASU in the SEC championship. And this will be an interesting one. Oregon takes on Baylor. The winner goes ahead and goes on to play in the Big 12 championship against Texas. But they face off in the Sun Bowl. And the Milk Bowl, Clemson surprised, although Clemson basically kind of barely even made it in with no battle, as they had a losing record. It's also surprising that we see Miami there. The winner plays UCF in the ACC championship. So, and the winners of the respective championships will represent their teams in the college football playoff. Now I'm not gonna really do too much on the prediction side, but I think Nebraska's gonna beat Stanford. Tennessee's is going to go ahead and beat LSU. Baylor will beat Oregon, and I really think that Miami has a chance to beat Clemson, but I'm gonna go with the safer route and go with Clemson here, as ever since Miami lost a lot of key members, they've been sucking. So that's pretty much nothing really big there. And there's also a really big one here. And this is according to Gores via executive board vote. Starting playoffs ball spot will be challengeable on scoring plays. More info outlining this rule change will come before the playoffs. I'm not gonna really go ahead and say anything about that. Either way, I'm excited for that one. I'm hoping that basically that turns out to be an interesting game. So yeah. Either way, nothing big's gonna happen, but I'm hoping that nothing big is gonna really happen. So well, yeah. Either way, people aren't sure whether if Pred's gonna come back, but the former Jets players did go ahead and sign with other teams. The most notable signing was wide receiver one Alche leaving for the Chargers. So Domer Clutch goes ahead and signs with the Jets. Overall, you're basically going ahead and seeing a good season. So either way, that's basically pretty much the big news. I mean, there was also some big news that people are a little bit suspicious that as the pretty much Mike Aviation, who was drafted 3rd overall in the Season 9 AFL Draft, is breaking pretty much some draft records. Huddy 3B, though, is having a spectacular season. And, well, I'm not sure whether I should consider him a rookie or not. I mean, let me know in the comments. Is Huddy rookie in AFL or not? Just go ahead and let me know about that. Either way, nothing really too big. Reed's still trying to go ahead. We'll need to go ahead and break out against. Needs a breakout game to hopefully get back in there. And tune in. And hopefully, I'm gonna go ahead and do a career recap. And this time, we're gonna go ahead and review the Lord Pred. I tried going out and look to see if the Lord Pred isn't a serious time in, but he's cut his ties from AFL related things completely. So, well, yeah. Either way, I'm gonna go and see y'all next time. So thank you guys for watching. Saddle up, saddle out. Peace out.